Peace, beautiful soul. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Soli, the Mystic Spiritual Advisor. Now, here on my channel, every video I create is dedicated to the expansion of your awareness. Now, today I ultimately wanted to talk about gifts, and how exactly it is we go about tapping into our gifts. Now, first and foremost, I want to start off by saying this. I am an astrologer, so yes, I will in a sense be approaching this from an astrological perspective. I also want to say that, of course, there are a multitude of ways to do so. For example, one of the ways you can really tap into your gifts is by studying your lineage, studying what your ancestors were capable of doing, what your grandmother, your father, so on and so forth. For all you know, you may have had a great grandmother who was a witch or a wizard or a sorcerer, and they were capable of doing A, B, C, and D. And because they were capable of doing it, so too are you. You see, we have to understand that when it comes to heritages, when it comes to ancestors and DNA in general, we are doing nothing but just, in a sense, it's kind of like our ancestors are passing the flame to us. So when I have children, whoa, pardon me. But I was saying, so for example, like when I have children, what will be happening in a way is they will be carrying. My bad, there's noise out there. But as I was saying, like I would in a sense be passing on to my children my gifts, my karma, and in a way what they will be doing is kind of like, you see, the thing is, like, our children are in a way here to kind of be, I don't want to, the reality of it is they are in a way here to kind of, I don't want to say be better than us, but more like they're here to teach us and show us, different ways. So it's like I get to a point in my life, and then want to have a child. You see, the thing about children is they are here to, in a sense, teach us and kind of show us, like when you have a child, in a way, you guys do have karmic links, and in a way, of course, there are definitely soul ties there too, and like, always pay attention to, your children, what they're doing, what they're saying, because they're here to teach you, they're here to show you. Never think like, why is this happening to me in regards to your children, but ask what can I learn from this, this experience, what is my child reflecting to me, So yeah, that's one of the ways you can do so, by studying your ancestral heritage, so on and so forth. Like me, for example, actually, my father, on my father's side, I have Egyptian roots, and that may be why I'm really tapped in or whatever. But it's really, from an astrological perspective, I have a lot of planets in the ninth house. Specifically, my Mercury is in Gemini in the ninth house. And this, in a sense, just really makes me someone who is really grounded in regards to like the areas of wisdom and knowledge. My sun is in Gemini in the 10th house. It's a cusp. The house is cusping its 10th, 9th. My moon is in Gemini in the 9th house. My Mercury is in Gemini in the 9th house. My Mars is in Sagittarius in the 3rd house. My Jupiter is in Gemini in the 10th house. And then my Saturn is also in Gemini in the 9th house. I am very Geminian indeed. And then my 9th house is in Taurus. But for those, who don't really know astrology, that may not mean nothing to you, right? But what I'm getting at is, it's like, with me, when I started truly studying my chart, things started connecting for me. I started learning about why I do this, and I started learning my strengths and my weaknesses, I guess you can say. And if any of you guys out there are interested, in getting a natal chart interpretation, you want to get a better grasp of yourself and a better understanding of why you're here and your strengths and weaknesses, then definitely do hit me up and I will do that for you. My readings are 1 hour and above, and it's $50 a natal chart reading. So definitely hit me up. So yeah, that's one of the ways you can do it. But I gotta say this: just because you know your natal chart, just because you know that maybe your Mercury is in the eighth house, and this makes you someone who's really deep, someone who is capable of digging things up that not everyone is capable of doing, that really doesn't make you any special. What I'm trying to get at is it's not precisely about the energies in your natal chart, it's more about the experience. It's kind of like, and that kind of applies on all levels, right? One of the ways you can find out your gifts is by experiencing shit. If you feel like, if you always wanted to do tarot, pick up a tarot deck and do it. If you always say you wanted to do astrology, do astrology. If you wanted to do mediumship, do it. Like, it's actually within the experience that our gifts develop. Pay attention to the things that draw you, the things that call you, the things that are calling to you. And this is really because the reality of it is most of us have been here more than once. I for sure have been here way, way more than once. I am here as a teacher. I am here, I return to teach. For example, when I was 14 years old, I actually died, and I was on the other side and everything. I had my death time and everything, but I willingly chose to return, as my services, you can say, are still needed on this planet, on this realm. So yeah, those are a couple of ways for you to tap into your gift and so on and so forth. Another thing is meditation. Start meditating. Start calming your mind. Calm your mind. Silence your mind. For example, I also study esoteric astrology. Esoteric astrology, in a sense, is evolutionary astrology. And I was studying and I was learning about the gifts that every sign had. And with Geminis, we are, in a sense, the messengers of the gods. Because of this, we are capable, more than any other sign, of channeling information. But the trick here is you can't channel information if you have a chatty mind. Most Geminis have chatty minds. So when I started meditating, it helped me so fucking much because I silenced my mind and I started to tap into certain different realms of myself, I guess you can kind of say. So meditation is very, very key and crucial. When you see, what happens is when you meditate, you go back to the 0 point. When you're at the 0 point, in a sense, everything that was influencing you from an external perspective kind of dissolves, and all that there are is you. For the most part with me, it's like when I meditate now, because I've been a meditator I think for about 3 years now when I meditate, I see visions, my guides come and they talk to me, so on and so forth. I want to say this: meditation is nothing more or less but the ability to tap into the moment, the ability, in a sense, to tap into the 0 point. And there are forms of meditation, like there are of 1,000, I won't say a million, 1,000 forms of meditations, and so honestly, the best ways for you to find your gifts is truly to experience. But if you really, really want the easy, quote unquote, the easy way to really, really see where your gifts reside and so on and so forth, then I urge that you get a natal chart reading. Definitely get it. Once you do so, what will happen is you will start to understand maybe why you are a person who procrastinates, who overthinks, who misses opportunities, or someone who's always been really charming. It'll just color in the lines for you. Every person who's gotten a reading with me has been really grateful, and I am grateful that I am capable of, bringing that sort of change to, my family, I guess you could say, is we are all, as I like to say, we are all one big ass confused family down here on earth, you know. The confusion is not by mistake, of course. It is by design. So yes, you guys, studying your ancestral heritage helps. Paying attention to the things that you're just naturally good at, like for example, me. I've always, in a sense, been really naturally good at communication, you know, and I didn't think that was like a gift or a strength of mine. It was only when I started honing in on it that I realized that holy shit, like I have the quote unquote gift of gab. But even from an astrological perspective, as you guys know, I am very, very Geminian based. I mean, Geminian influenced. So, yeah, I am here to talk. I am a communicator. I am a spokesperson, a teacher. My 10th house is also in Gemini. The 10th house is the house of status, the house of career. With my 10th house being in Gemini, it is an indication that one way or another in this lifetime, I am supposed to acquire some sort of status, some sort of career that revolves around the Gemini energy, which is mind, it's mental, it's about communication, it's about knowledge, it's about sharing. So I'm a fucking teacher, y'all. I'm here to be a teacher, you know, I'm here to teach. But the truth is, I can't teach you nothing as you know all, as you already know everything and anything, you know, the reality of it is, I can only remind you. We are not here to learn, we're here to remember. To remember, okay. Another thing is knowing thyself. Yes, natal chart. The natal chart is very, very indeed. It's indeed an important aspect of learning your gifts and so on and so forth. But learning where your energy centers are. You know, me personally, I got to the point where I actually started, you know, doing energy work, and I started circulating my energy in my body. So, with me, it was like the 7 chakra systems, which just wasn't enough for me. So I started, you know, studying like Eastern, like the Chinese energy centers. But that's, I guess you can kind of say, more complex and complicated. But yes, starting off and learning the 7 chakra systems is definitely a great way for you to understand where your powers reside, where your gifts reside. For example, as a Gemini, I am very, very, I'm very, very high, influenced by the higher energy meridian points. So the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. Yes, and then a lot of people don't know this, but the truth is we are all one way or another capable of empathy, unless you're not human. One, the chakras that define human beings, I want to say, I know that as human beings, we have the heart chakra defines human beings. Some entities that are on this earth aren't human beings. They don't have heart chakras. I'm not 100% certain on this, but I think it's the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, which is our ability to create, our ability to feel, empathy, so on and so forth. Another way for you to truly, truly grasp and understand the gifts. Before I go on to that one, I want to say, definitely go to my playlists and check out my playlist on the human energetic system, and you'll learn about the 7 chakras. I urgently recommend, you know, you learn about not the 7 hermetic principles, although I have a video on that too. I urgently, you know, recommend you learn about the 7 chakras. Well, good thing I brought the 7 hermetic principles. Another way for you to truly, truly understand and tap into your gifts is by studying the universal principles. When you study the universal principles, you realize how everything fits. You realize where you fit. You realize that we are living in an electromagnetic universe. You realize that you yourself are an electromagnetic you yourself are an electromagnetic being. Knowledge is power, but knowledge without application is dead. You can read, but as long as you don't apply, it's irrelevant what you know, right? But I think, yes, the last thing I wanted to talk on is knowing the technical functions of your physical body, knowing that your hair, the reason why I grew my hair, I'll talk a bit about why I cut my hair also. But the reason why I grew my hair out was because, you know, it's a manifestation of my crown chakra. So yes, understanding that your hair, we're not supposed to cut our hair. I know, right? Why listen to me? I cut my hair. But the reason why I cut my hair is it was, in a sense, a form of shedding, you know. I was going through some shit, and like, yeah, I just felt like I had to, you know, cut it off and like start anew, if that makes sense. I was seeking death, so I found rebirth. Good thing it came through this way, right? But never mind, that's besides the point, you know. Understanding that our hair is like an antenna, understanding that our skin is, well, the truth is the human body, all of it is an antenna. Understanding that the melanin within our body is 1,000 times more conductive to sunlight than chlorophyll. Human beings are way, 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 way more conductive to sunlight than chlorophyll. Despite what they've told you, the reality of it is, why do why do you think there are breatharians out there? This is because we are literally capable of feeding from the light, from prana, from breath, from light, so on and so forth. You know, simple things like understanding why we have fingernails. The reality of it is, our fingernails are, we're not supposed to cut our fingernails either, honestly. Fuck. But yeah, you know, when you live amongst society, it's kind of like you do certain things like cut your fingernails. But the reality of it is, our fingernails, in a sense, are one of the ways our body vaccinates itself. There's a reason why, you know, we have like tiny openings. I don't know. Yeah, you see that, like the tiny openings right there. This is because when you touch something, you collect dirt and dust and everything around your environment within like the fingernail, and then your body starts to collect that dirt, those bacteria, so on and so forth. But it collects it on an amount that won't be harmful, and then it creates antibodies. But yes, you guys, thank you for watching. Definitely do like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and leave a comment below telling me ways you found your gifts, you know, and what does that even mean? What the fuck is a gift? But yeah, definitely do subscribe if you haven't, and if you are interested in getting a reading or some sort of guidance, you know, I do tarot, I do astrology, and yes, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace and namaste.